Good afternoon. We're at a place called the Narrows. This was, when I was a kid, this road, it went all the way through. There used to be another bridge about a mile, a little over a mile up the road here across Otter Creek. It was an old steel bridge. It was taken out by a flood in the, I think the late 80s, early 90s. They used to keep this open until the bridge at Honey Creek went. Then they kept it open until the floods got so bad that it just becomes impossible. It's always been a fight for the county, but there's some fields over there that used to be tended, and this, after the bridge at Honey Creek went out, this was the only bridge in there, only way in there, across the Narrows. So I guess maybe, I don't know how they get to those fields anymore. They might have opened up an old ford that used to be, back this way across a little bit. I don't know. Anyway, what we have over here, this side's Otter Creek, this side's Fall River. My great-grandfather and granddad, I think they caught a 30-some pound flathead off a limb trout line right out here in the middle of this river one time. You get around the corner there and it comes down a bunch of little falls. And anyway, do a lot of fishing down there. You have to walk now, we have to walk. Sooner or later, Mother Nature's going to take this out. And this is just going to be a result of erosion, and it's inevitable. But for years there was a road across there, a good road. Today, I won't be here. I went to the liquor store 2 days ago and I bought something called Rieger and Company. They were old rectifiers in the late 1890s, early 1900s. They're from Kansas City company, and they at one time sold the most alcohol over mail order alcohol business in the United States at that time. Now things have changed. They've reopened it a few years ago, I think 2013 or 14. And rectifier is just a fancy word to say non-producing distillers, a common word we use today, where they would take several different things and blend together. This actually has less than 2.5% blending sherry in this. And the reason I bought it, it's a 2018 holiday edition Kansas City whiskey, extra fine. And according to the website, everything in here is over 4 years old, if I remember correctly. So let's open it. This will be the first. I normally open them. I usually give them a long try first, but we're on a limited schedule here with this one since it just came out, and it's available at Auburn Spirits in Wichita for those of you that watch this that are local. And I'm sure it's available in Kansas City shops as well. But this is my first time of ever having Rieger. I want to say Rieger's, but I think it's Rieger is how it's properly pronounced. It is 46% alcohol by volume. I paid $33 for it. That's enough. Set her down. Let's not kick her over, because I'm kind of looking forward to this actually. Oh, it's got a nice medium amber. And rectifier is an old term they used to use. People, especially grocery stores back in the late 1800s, early 1900s, and certain other companies that became eventually distillers were all started off as rectifiers. I think it was Pappy Van Winkle was one. I think he started off with a rectifier license. There's been several over the Bernheim. They were originally rectifiers before they got a distillery going. And basically they just buy and mix till they found a flavor profile they were looking for, and then they would market their whiskey as that. It's nice. It's got pretty good legs on it. Pretty good coating. Oh. I swear I smell a little, almost Elijah Craig in it. They gotta be, I'm not saying they are, but they're getting some of this from Heaven Hill. Maybe not, but man, oh man. There's just a little bit of it in there. A little bit of that rich caramel. And just a little bit of that rye spice in the background. But it's rich. You do kind of sort of get a little fruitiness, that dark fruits. Think of raisins and prunes, dried prunes and raisins. But it's not very dominant. It's just, it lingers in the background. Smells good. It's got a very good odor. Very good nose on it. Little cinnamon in there. There's some cinnamon richness in this. Almost confectionery. The nose is absolutely, really is absolutely intriguing on this one. Oh, man. It's going for the palate. Love the nose. A little bit hot, but not in a bad way. It's very warming on the tongue. Get a little more of that sherry on the palate. But it's so far in the background. If you didn't know it was in there, you could almost think it was cask influence to some degree. If you didn't know that, if you didn't read on the website where it was added, you would swear it was just cask influence due to the aging process. I heard something walking in the weeds across the river. Some sort of, probably squirrel. Oh, it's got a, the nose is outstanding. You know, I'm thinking maybe Maker's Mark is what I'm, the 46. And that had stave added to it. It's kind of somewhere in between there. I mean, there's a lot going on here. The rye is great in this. The corn is hidden. It's there. You got to hunt for it just like you do the other. The barrels they use is really good. The rye is, you get the rye very well in this. The rye comes across. And with the accent of that sherry behind that rye, it's really fascinating. Very fascinating stuff. It's sweet. It's going to be, it's a little on the sweeter side. But there is a plenty of cinnamon spice, black pepper. Touch of that dill. Almost a syrup. It's a medium, short to medium length finish. It's not an overly dominating finish. It doesn't hang around a whole long time. But it's just there long enough to make you want more. Now remember, this is a first impressions. I literally opened this bottle. We're going to add just a hair bit of water to it. Well, drop the cap, so we're just going to do it by this way. That's plenty. Plenty, plenty. It's a light sorghum syrup, almost a molasses. This is well made. The nose is better than the palate. Palate's damn good, but the nose is really good. Water brings out the spices. Washes away a lot of sweetness, believe it or not. Getting almost that syrup. Maple, oh, not a pure maple syrup though. Yeah, fascinating stuff. Very fascinating stuff. Good color on it. Just off the initial opening, initial trying, it's out there. It's an 88 though. In the present standing, it really appeals to my palate in a lot of ways. I think it's a specific style of whiskey. It's not going to go some ways with some things. But right now it's really stroking all the points. If it finished a little, if the palate matched the nose, this would be a 90 or more. But the nose is great and the palate is almost there, but not quite. So, and the finish could stand to be a little bit longer in the finish for me. So I'm going to go with the 88 out of 100 on this. It's definitely a buy for $33. $33, you can't go wrong with this. That's pretty interesting. This is my first time having it. So, if you see it, and I don't know if you will, outside the Midwest, they did a, not the holiday edition, but I think it was the Party Source, one of their videos, and I think they're out of Ohio. They have it. So I know they have it up that direction. It's definitely worth a try. It's definitely worth a try. I better sign off on this. I've been on too long. I've kind of enjoyed it though. So, 88 out of 100. It's a beautiful day here in central Kansas. We're more in central Kansas now, up near the old family's place. I miss a lot of this because I don't come over here very often anymore. So remember, the spirit in your glass isn't running from you. Take your time, sip, enjoy it. You'll be better for it. That's good stuff. Everyone have a good afternoon.